Gentlemen and ladies, we're back in Arizona. We got to talk about a bunch of sugar honey iced tea. We have a bunch of Iranian updates and what these crazy liberals are saying about it. I cannot wait to slap Megyn Kelly over the head, proverbially, about the topic. Her and Marjorie Trader Green are the dumbest women on the internet right now. But also, I want to talk to you guys about the Smoothie King idiot who gets fired, her and her accomplice, for not serving people who are wearing Trump apparel. Do you know how stupid that is? But only dumb people do stuff like that. But before we get to any of that, I'm going to give you what you asked me for. You want to see the depositions of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton? You have it. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back. Hey, make sure we have a brand new shirt that's out right now. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it. Brand new shirt that's out. They just developed this. This shirt is absolutely fire. You can get that at tatumstore.com. Tatumstore.com. If you're watching this on the television, just pause the screen, scan the QR code, and it'll lead you to the store. You can put in Epic Fury 26 and get 20% off. And for all the members who are members, we got a special discount code we're going to give to you. So if you're a member, we're going to give you a discount code that's much more substantial than 20% off because we love you and we appreciate you. Also, make sure you follow me on social media, follow me on all the platforms, follow me on Substack, and all of the above. And I want to say this before we get into it is I want you guys to support Blackline. Blackline is a nonprofit, or Blackline Guardian Fund is a nonprofit organization that we utilize funds to help people that need security that can't afford it. And that is for schools. I got an example. I'm trying to raise money for a father who's at his child's school doing security, protecting the school absolutely free. He's doing it for free. He's doing it on his own time. But I want to help more people be able to do that and for them to have some type of compensation. Because you got to work. You can't just do everything for free. So I want to help that father out, but you could donate through Blackline Guardian Fund, 501c3, tax deductible, and all of the good stuff. Let's get into the Bill and Hillary Clinton crap. All right, let me say this off just at the beginning. Y'all going to be mad at me for saying this, but I don't care. I'm doing two things at one time. I know a lot of y'all want to see this. A lot of y'all want to hear my perspective from it. I start right off the bat and say this stuff is a nothing burger. When I say nothing burger, I mean nothing is going to be done. We get all our hopes up with this Epstein file stuff and we get all worked up and nothing is going to happen. And I know I lose followers for saying this, but I'm telling you, Bill Clinton probably was a dirty, nasty dog messing with people he shouldn't have messed with. But if you don't have no evidence and you just got some pictures and you got some gotcha moments, that's not going to get anybody prosecuted. If you don't have any evidence, there's nothing that's going to happen. Hillary Clinton the same way. She a dirty, nasty dog, but there's no evidence that she did anything. And a lot of people are jumping on speculation with no evidence and then going to be upset that nothing is going to happen. It's just the way it is. But I'll say this. I want to interview people that know more than I do. I know that there's a few Congress people that I want to, Anna Paulina Luna, which is our friend, I want to bring her on and her to tell me everything I don't know about this situation. Because right now, when people ask me about Epstein, I could not care less about none of this stuff. I could not care less. If somebody actually did something that committed a crime, we have evidence, I want them to go down for life or death penalty. But majority of it is hogwash, to be quite honest. It's just getting people in a frenzy. I don't think it's much there. We shall see. But let's get to Bill Clinton. Here's a couple clips from his deposition that are ridiculous. Roll the clip.
The witnesses who testified in the Epstein cases that Epstein said, you quote, like them young. Why would Epstein say that about you?
Are you asking his opinion? You're asking him to think about why Mr. Epstein would say something about him?
Why would Epstein say that about the
So she's asking
president?
you to try to be in Mr. Epstein's mind and guess at what Mr. Epstein would have thought about.
Clinton likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, That's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage,
I didn't say underage, I said young.
but it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
Yes,
Okay.
at my age,
Did-
anybody younger than I
Did
am
you
is
know
young.
Jeffrey Epstein instructed a witness to deny you were ever on his island?
He didn't have to since I was never there.
All right, next clip.
Okay, did you ever discuss sexual misconduct allegations made against you with Epstein or Maxwell?
Never.
Did Epstein or Maxwell ever offer to help manage or silence women who made sexual misconduct allegations against you?
No.
Did Epstein or Maxwell ever offer financial support directly or indirectly to legal defense funds related to impeachment proceedings or civil actions against you?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you think a young girl massaging a president is unusual?
So are you asking his opinion?
Well, he
You're
was
asking his
massaged by
opinion?
a young woman. I'm asking if he thinks it's unusual that a president, sitting president of the United States, leader of the free world, that
So I'm
it's
sorry,
unusual a
are you
young woman
speaking
would
to,
be.
are you talking to the instance of the
Yes, is it unusual that
the
a young
back
woman would be
massage
massaging?
that occurred while he was not president? I'm just trying to understand. You said a president of the United States.
Former president?
Thank you. Just trying to make sure we're correcting the
Are you
time frame.
filibustering?
No, I don't need
Okay.
to. I'm actually trying to make
I
sure
think
that
I'm
as
pretty
you,
clear. He said he
you
knows what
said he
young.
was a sitting president.
Excuse me, could we just please go one at a time? Thank you.
You said a sitting president. I want you to be clear so that when he answers
Former
you,
sitting
the
president,
record
how do
is
you want to do
clear.
it? Is it unusual?
I have no
calls
idea
for-
if it's unusual.
Objection calls for speculation.
I figured.
I don't know who. I don't know what's happening here, but he could actually get away with this and look good, but he's looking terrible in this. I'm just saying, if you maybe because he's so old, he don't have a cap, he don't have a filter or something. I don't know what's going on with him. He could literally say, but this is how you know he's guilty of doing something. We'll never find out what he did, but at least you can see from the videos that he's guilty of being a dirty dog. Because your lawyers shouldn't have to say much or nothing. They ask you what you think about young. Are you attracted to young women? Even if you are, you just say no. I'm not. Do you think an intern is a young woman? Yes, but I'm not attracted to young women. And leave it at that. But he can't help himself. Is it inappropriate for a lawyer for a sitting president to get a massage from a young girl? He could just say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Instead, he tried to answer the question. His lawyer had to step in. Y'all, it get worse. Roll the clip.
Have you ever had contact with an individual by the name of Shantae Davies?
I believe Shantae that's a distinctive name, and so I think that was the name of one of his flight attendants.
Okay. She's been described on being on a 2002 Africa trip and providing massages. Was she or any other young female on that trip underage at that time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did you ever receive a massage or have physical contact from her or anyone else on that trip?
You've seen the pictures. There was one time when I was sitting up and I got a back rub, a neck rub.
Okay.
And I think Shantae did it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you ever visit Epstein's Little St. James Island?
No.
We have Virginia Guffrey, who has testified seeing you on the island with two young girls. Did this occur at all? Okay. Why do you think she would have made that claim?
Objection, speculation. He can't possibly.
Have
what's in
you
her
ever met her or any other Epstein associated underage girl?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
All right, next clip.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong. I just want it all out there. I want everybody to get it all out there and let everybody see where we are.
All right, this is a clip about did Epstein kill himself? Roll it.
I'd like to ask you personally and directly, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Are you asking him to speculate on how Mr. Epstein died?
I'm asking what the president thinks of.
So you're asking his opinion?
Mr. President, was your friend Jeffrey Epstein
Are you
suicidal?
classifying him as a friend who he has testified that he was
has
friendly?
called him a friend in a letter.
He said he was friendly, but not. You've asked for his testimony.
Mr. President, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicidal?
Do you know?
Was he ever
She's asking to the
suicidal?
best of your
I
understanding.
don't know. I only know what the medical finding was. I think maybe
That's it.
he finally got caught, and I don't know. I've accepted it in my own mind. I don't know what happened,
Mr. President, what did you accept? That he killed himself or that he did not?
but he did. But I don't know.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Neither do
Mr.
you.
President.
We don't. None of us know.
All right, I think we got one more clip. One more, roll it.
What did happen, Mr. President?
I don't know. I mean, I've already told you this. I'll tell again. I never saw anybody do anything wrong. I thought they were flight attendants.
Do flight attendants typically wear tank tops and jeans?
They don't all wear uniforms on private planes.
Yes, sir.
All right, next clip.
So do you recall the details of this photo, or recall the photo being taken?
No, I don't think I ever knew the photo was taken.
Okay, and
All right, so I'm gonna keep it short
for those
because
who
this
can't
is a
see it,
convoluted
it's
mess. This is a
photo of you in
3-minute
hot
clip.
tub.
I'll shorten
There's
it
a
up for you.
person next.
I'll shorten it up for you. It's just a simple. They're gonna ask him questions about him being in this hot tub. He's gonna get caught in what appears to be a confusing lie, because he's gonna say he didn't know anybody that was in the hot tub or in the swimming pool. Then he's gonna circle back to say at the very end of the clip that it was people that were on his team or that was in the plane, a part of their group, that were the ones seen in the hot tub and on the plane. Let me say this too, because Hillary Clinton is next, and we only got 2 clips of Hillary Clinton, and it's kind of ironic how Hillary Clinton is far more superior mentally than Bill is, and I think it's because she literally drained that man dry with as crazy as she is, and now he's withering away, and she still have all the energy from that relationship. That's what I think. Or he just been doing so much evil that he died quicker than her. I don't know. I don't know who worse. But I'll say this. These dudes, this is the real question for me, and I want somebody to be able to clarify this. Is Bill Clinton, this is the delineation for me. Not to say that you shouldn't go to jail. If you did a crime, you need to go to jail. The delineation is that, are we arguing that Bill Clinton had 16, 17, 18-year-old girls on the plane, or are we saying that he messing with little kids? That's a delineation for me. All of it is a crime, and you should take it to jail. I don't care which one it is, because you know how old, if they ain't 18, you going to jail. But there's a difference with little bitty kids. That's what changes the game for me as far as how crazy it could be. If you at an island and the person is 17, 18 years old, you're still wrong, but that's not the same human being as somebody with 12-year-olds and stuff at the thing. That's 2 different things. Is he a dirty, horny old man? Then maybe he is. Because I would argue some of your favorite people is flying and got flight attendants that's young looking or whatever the case may be, and they trying to mess around with them little girls. But there's a difference between 18, 17, and 38 and all that. I just want to make that delineation. Which one is happening? Is Bill accused of on the island with little kids, or he just flying these planes and being a pervert? Which one is it? And also, I want to know if the girls on the plane are 16, 17, 18, and around that age, how are they on a plane and their parents don't know about it? And are they being allegedly trafficked? Those are things that I need to know, in my opinion. And I don't think we ever going to have the answer to that, but that's what I want to know. Hillary Clinton, bring this pantsuit wearing thing on the TV. Roll it.
Photos of your husband in a hot tub laying on a beach and getting massaged by other women, and you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in some of these trips and these things. Did it concern you at all?
I'm here not to offer my opinions. I'm here to answer specific questions to the best of my ability.
When you saw your husband in these photos with young women being massaged, what went through your mind?
I am not going to speculate.
You didn't have any feelings about young women massaging your husband?
I am not going to offer opinions or speculation about anything that I have no context for and was not there.
Although I can't stand Hillary, but this is the stuff I be saying. Like, is this a real investigation or I got you moment on social media? You're asking her questions that don't matter. Is she shocked or is she offended? Is her feelings hurt? Does she feel? This is like 20-some years ago. I bet you $1 million they hadn't been sleeping together in the last 40 years. They both old, and look at him, his hands shaking like this. Him and Hillary ain't laying up nowhere. She don't care what he doing. She know Bill out there gunning, and she had her own agenda. She wanted to be the president, and she was going to stay with Bill no matter what he doing. That man was in the White House getting services from an intern in the Oval Office. Do you know how horny you got to be to do something like that as the president? Bro, you can't do it off premises. You got to do it at the White House. You know what kind of R. Kelly, P. Diddy type dude he is? Hillary knew exactly what man she married. She had her own pantsuit agenda, and she was moving on. But where are we going with this? Because you asking her questions that ain't gonna matter. And then she give an answer, a reasonable response. When I say reasonable, I mean an intelligent response that don't implicate her whatsoever. And it's a nothing burger. Let's play a couple other clips. Roll it.
In past public statements, as in 2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016
right, y'all
claims
heard the question?
Regarding
Hillary's gonna answer something crazy and it's not gonna go anywhere. I just want to save you time. They asked about Pizzagate and what happened was you get a nut job, they go over there and try to shoot the pizza place up, and they have no evidence of anything. No real tangible, articulable evidence. It's only speculation. I remember I was looking at that docuseries Fall Cabal, and it's compelling to believe that all of these celebrities are deep involved in this sacrificial stuff and blood and all this, and it gets your mind going, but I'm not wasting my brain power trying to assume. Let me just give you an example of why. Give me the screen. Let me give you an example of why. We were just in New York at a pizza place, and that place was so good. Good pizza. They had all kind of varieties. I had some garlic knots. That place was good. My wife was like, don't post it because we eating pizza. And I'm like, I can't live my life like that. I don't give up what she probably was joking, but I don't care what these people think. They're going to try to add me in there because I'm eating a pizza in New York, which is where you want to get pizza from anyway. But I want us to not be too, listen to the conspiracies, but make sure you have a balanced perspective. All this Pizzagate stuff, I think there's something to it. But make sure that you're not adding everybody that had a slice of pizza or that mentioned the word pizza and you add them to it. That's all I'm asking you to do. If somebody's on an email saying, hey, I like my pizzas young, okay, that's you ain't talking about pizza. Now, I don't know what context you're talking about, but it's very fair to do an investigation as to what you're talking about. I ain't never heard pizza characterized like that. Now, if you saying that, then yeah, people should be skeptical. But if you were saying, I like pizza, or can we have a pizza party, and there is no other outside context to that, don't waste your time, y'all. We getting tricked on these conspiracies, man. Some of them have truth to it, but don't be a dead brain conspiracy theorist where everybody's implicated. Because I know really good people that people got conspiracies against, and I'm like, I know this person, and that's not even a real thing. Just like with Erica Kirk, all these conspiracies around Erica Kirk, like people really believe this stuff, and it's like, I know Erica, I've been around Erica. What? I knew Charlie. What? It's all bullcrap. That's not even a real thing. But it make you feel giddy on the inside, so people just keep pushing it to you. It's not a real thing. Like, you just wait. If I get more popular, or if I continue to do social media, and people gonna have all kind of conspiracies. I got Jewish people that work for me, and what do you know? I'm bought and paid for by the Jews. I was in I was in New York, going to see Melania give her historic speech at the UN, and just so happened the ambassador to the UN from Israel was there, and gave an impromptu speech before Melania came out. And I guarantee people gonna say, you were there for the Jewish ambassador or something. It's like, I didn't even know the dude. I ain't coming for that. I didn't even know the guy was gonna be there. But this is what I'm saying. You can have a conspiracy about a conspiracy from a conspirator. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's get on to Iran. And then from Iran, we're going to talk about the leftist nut jobs. We're going to talk about Megyn Kelly and that slew-footed Marjorie Taylor Greene that's on the show. We're going to address them idiots. And then I want to finish it with that ridiculous Smoothie King situation, because that was crazy. It was just too crazy. So here's some updates from Iran. Let me give you my opinion real quick on Iran. I support the President of the United States of America and his wisdom in going to war and bombing Iran and different places based on the totality of circumstances that he is privy to. Some people are upset about something they don't know nothing about. And they out here, we're getting in another war. Were you in the briefing with the heads of military personnel that gave an articulable perspective of what this looks like and what this will and will not involve? Were you there? If you wasn't there, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You voted for president, especially people that voted for Trump. Quit being wusses. You voted for President Trump. Trust the man and what he said, unless you have unequivocal reasons for you not to. He has not gotten us in a war since he's been in office. These are strategic bombs, strategic plans, and we are not in a lasting war. He has not given me any evidence to believe that he will get us in a war. When I say a war, meaning a never-ending war like Afghanistan, Iraq, and all the other stuff. It's not. I don't believe it's going to happen. If it does happen, then that's when I become critical. Roll the clip.
Good morning. I do want to just start with some breaking news here before I show you the scene of one of these cluster munition impacts just outside of Tel Aviv. But I'm told by a senior Israeli official that the Israelis just struck the Supreme Council gathering where the Iranians were meeting to choose a new supreme leader. This is a significant development and, again, speaks to the Israeli intelligence about this war. They just targeted the meeting in Tehran where what's left of the leadership was gathering to choose a new supreme leader.
Israel ain't playing with y'all, man. Look at that building. That is infrastructural damage. Now, let me put this in perspective real quick. We got 2 more clips. There are good guys and bad guys in this scenario. And I think that you have to have the cojones to understand that and be real with yourself. Iran, they are bad guys. Not the Iranian people, but the Iranian regime and the military and all the government personnel that are currently running that country. They're bad guys. Israel is good. They are good guys. America are the good guys. Saudi Arabia is the good guys in this scenario. These other people are evil. And I don't know why we even going down a rabbit hole of like crying about this. Get rid of these people. They're evil. They're trying to kill everybody. And we need to get them before they get us. And for all you weirdos that's out here crying about it, stop being a weirdo. You see what they're doing? They're attacking all of these places where civilians are at. They're attacking all these places all over the country. This is what they do. This is what they're showing their capabilities are. And if you make them mad or you catch them in terrorism, all these proxy wars they start, all these proxy terrorist organizations, this is what they're capable of. So you cut the snake head off, and then therefore people can sleep at night. Roll the clip. Marco Rubio has something to say about it. Roll it.
I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond and respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act. Going back to the purpose. The purpose of this is to destroy that missile capability. Why does Iran want that ballistic missile capability? What they are trying to do and have been trying to do for a very long time is build a conventional weapons capability as a shield where they can hide behind. Meaning, there would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do, is put themselves in a place of immunity where the damage they could inflict on the region would be so high that no one can do anything about their nuclear program or their nuclear ambitions. They are producing, by some estimates, over 100 of these missiles a month. Compare that to the 6 or 7 interceptors that can be built a month. They can build 100 of these a month, not to mention the thousands of one-way attack drones that they also have. They've been doing this for a very long time, and by the way, they've been doing it under sanction.
All right, let's talk about this real quick, and I want to get to Trump and Kennedy because I want to end that on a funny note. I don't know why people don't understand that America and Israel are like this. Israel doesn't do anything that America doesn't approve. I'm telling you, I don't know why I know why people think that because they're not putting two together. And then you have these nut jobs who hate Jews and hate Israel that they just project all of their lusts for the conflict to be, they project that out to the public to try to convince you of something. Israel and America are like this. Israel is literally a proxy for American military strikes. That's why we give them money, and that's why they can only buy equipment and resources from us, because we tell them what to do and what not to do. I'm telling you, that's what any other country that you see that's dominant and they have a subordinate country, that subordinate country is proxy to the dominant country. You see it in Iran and all their little proxy militias. You see it all over the country, all over the world. Every major country has a proxy country or military that they utilize for certain strikes that they don't have to utilize our assets for. So when we want to strike Iran, we do it through Israel. And then we come off, come with all the things and say, well, Israel did it, so we had to do this. No, we wanted to do that So we had Israel do this, so we do that. Operation Lion, Raging Lion, or whatever that thing was. Why do we get involved in that? It was a combination of effort between the United States and Israel to roll out that action. I just want people to understand, Donald Trump is not sitting on a couch waiting for Netanyahu to respond. Donald Trump does not operate like that. Anyway, let's move on. Donald Trump had something to say about Iran. Roll it.
Something had to be done. And it's been 47 years. They've been killing people all over the world for a long time. They were the kings and fathers of the roadside bomb. Soleimani, we killed him last term. If we didn't, I think it might be a different story today. They would have been much stronger and smarter than they are. But they did the roadside bombs. 95% of the people lost their legs, arms, had their face wiped out, just wiped out. I've seen some young people that it's so sad to watch. And that was almost all, 95% comes from Iran and with Soleimani. Soleimani loved it, his favorite weapon. He loved the roadside bomb. And when you see people walking around with no legs and no arms and a face that's been blown to hell, these people, what they have to go and the way they have to live, this is Iran. When you look at the barracks, the famous barracks, when you look at the hostages, when you look at a lot of hostages, when you look at all of the problems, they were really a purveyor of terror all over the world for many, many years. And it's something that had to be done, something. And I believe that if we didn't, because I see where Congress, you know, if I didn't do this, guys like Schumer, who are losers, the Democrats, they're losers. That's why they're not here. Guys like Schumer would say, well, you should have done this. In other words, if I did it, it's no good. If I didn't do it, they would have said the opposite, that you should have done this. But most people feel, I'll tell you what, I have never had more compliments on something I did. People felt it's something that had to be done. So if we have a little high oil prices for a little while, but as soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
That's Donald Trump giving a quick statement. He had more to say. Roll the clip. Was that one clip or we had two Donald Trump clips?
Clips we cut for time. We cut it for time. It was kind of a nothing clip.
Okay. All right, let's go to Kennedy. Roll it.
I think the president did the right thing. 6, 7 presidents have talked about it. He did it. We don't know what's going to happen, but I would call it a success, if for no other reason but that Khamenei is dead. The Ayatollah won the coin toss, and he elected to receive. And, my feeling is, may he rest in pieces. He was a brutal dictator.
That dude's one-liners are insane. Here's a couple mindless, dead-brain leftists, at least one of them. And then one is a meme that encapsulates the way they think. And let me just add this. When my wife was on the plane just recently, she had this pink MAGA hat. The way these leftist women were looking at my wife, it almost made me want to spring into action and slap one of them. But I would never do that because I'm a good Christian man. But I'm not going to say the devil on this side didn't make me feel like I can't stand these people. I cannot stand these pompous, idiotic nut jobs who are literally just, they live in a false reality to where they can't even control their emotions because they see a hat. Do you know how stupid you have to be? But it's so many people that are that stupid because I'm sitting on this side, my wife's sitting on the other side, and I'm looking at them look at her with their hat, and I'm just like, I swear, if anybody say something to my wife, I'm going to jail today. If they look at my wife wrong, I might think about going to jail. But you touch my wife, I'm going to get excited about the possibility of me stomping one of y'all out. But that's nor here nor there, okay? Let me just move on. But I can't stand these people. Like, I'm praying about it. Y'all pray for me. I can't stand these pompous, nut job. These people are ruining the world. And they're arrogant and they're stupid at the same time. It's mind-blowing to me. Roll the clip.
And literally, if you have any part to play in the American military industrial complex, literally, f*** you. I hope you never make it home. I'm so serious.
Imagine being so stupid enough to say this. And if you were to question that young lady and say, why are we doing what we're doing in Iran? She has no historical context to argue her point because she don't know that Iran has been responsible for killing so many Americans. And if you bring it to her attention, she still have no concept of this. It's just a talking point that she was told to say by somebody on TV. I mean, literally with a whole chest will say something like this with no evidence, no context, have not looked into anything. And here's an example of the liberals encapsulated into one meme. Roll the clip.
Whatever. He started a war without approval from Congress. He's a freaking dictator!
Now, you know, it's funny because they will argue that we just saying stuff and we making it up and it's not really. No, that's how they really act. They do this. They do the same thing with immigration. Barack Obama and them swear that you better not come to our country, you're going to get deported. They deport all sorts of people. They have children in cages, and they are silent until Trump do it, and they literally will quit their job and go on a rampage because they're so offended by stuff that their side have done for the last 12 years. It's crazy to me. Let's go to the Ver. They actually got a woman on there that makes sense. I'm glad the other wasted face is pregnant and she's out because they actually probably got someone in there with a little bit of common sense. But let's play the clip of them being upset about this whole thing. Roll the clip.
The bottom line is that this is an illegal war. This is an unconstitutional war. Only Congress can wage war and declare war. And so that's the first thing. I think we have to call a thing a thing. So this is an illegal war. This is a presidential war. I will also say, I think what Anna was about to say, did the regime really change? No. At this point, Donald Trump has come out and said, I had some choices for who would lead, but they are dead now, too. And so now you have people that are in Iran picking their own people. So you don't have a regime change, just like you don't have a regime change in Venezuela. Also, what I'll say is it's very, very easy to start a war, right? Without a plan. It's very difficult to end a war. We've seen in Russia invading Ukraine, thinking that it was going to be over. It's 5 years later, 610,000 Russians are either maimed or killed. 1.2 million Russians maimed or killed. We've got 600,000 Ukrainians maimed or killed. That war is not over. I thought this was going to be the president of peace. I thought this president wanted to win a Nobel Peace Prize for peace. That is not what I'm seeing. I am not seeing America first. I think people that voted for Trump, I was not one of them. I think you were. Those people wanted America first.
I proudly voted for Trump because the alternative was not great, and we would absolutely be under the wrong power.
There you go. Who is that woman? Come on. I want to know who that woman is. Like, I want you to understand this very clearly. I thought there was another view clip.
There's several. Do you want to roll all of them? We're
Yeah,
running
let's roll some more view
clips.
clips.
Cool.
Because I want them to see how nutty these people are. Because that young lady, that new one, I like what she had to say. They don't know what plans Donald Trump have. They haven't been in a single briefing. But their instincts is saying that this guy don't have a single plan at all. Like Trump is just drinking Coke and golfing and hoping to God that it works. All right, look at Whoopi Goldberg's roll the clip.
So are Americans going to support another military operation in the Middle East right now? I mean, we've had kind of a checkered past in going into the Middle East and not taking care of business. So I open it up. What do you think?
Trump has, I think, changed.
Fast forward to that
Venezuela.
nut job. Let's just get to the girl that made
Venezuela,
sense because I don't want to even hear her. So just know she said something stupid that had no contextual reality to it. I want to get to this woman here. Roll the clip.
Respect where you come from, Anna, on this and your ability to like broadly think about it and have heart in it. I also think it's very easy to have political concussion at this point where, and I actually had a concussion a year ago, one of the side effects was losing depth perception, where you can't see the depth of what is going on because you're just being constantly barraged by information or political opinion and now war. Understandably, the Americans are fatigued with the idea of war. We get that, right? We sit here and we know the repercussions of it, including the death, and I do want to say our hearts are with the families of those fallen soldiers. Your sacrifice will not be squandered. This war will be won. I do think it's threefold. One, we have 47 million Iranian women who now have a hope of freedom. That's a good thing, okay? We have an disgusting, disgusting terrorist regime ended. And the people finally have hope to create their own nation again. Okay, so that's the hope. When we zoom out in
I want y'all to pay attention to what these cackling hens are looking at her like as she's saying that women are being liberated. Like, just imagine how stupid you have to be that you get on here and grandstand saying that you support women and misogyny and the patriarchy and all this other stuff. But then when a woman is saying Iranian women are going from pretty much being enslaved, having genital mutilation and all kind of other stuff that I don't know if they do mutilation, but they do treat them poorly. They covered up with blankets all over their head like this. They can't get a fair education. They're not treated as reasonable citizens like men are. They're treated like sugar honey iced tea. And a woman is saying women are being liberated and they can't accept it. It's crazy to me. Roll the clip.
Political realm, okay, which is not my specialty either, but we have a ton of friends in the military who specialize in this. We see that this is actually avoiding a boots on the ground war with China when we are able to choke their oil supply, and the president and our military are exemplary in doing so right now. They've cut the oil supply from Venezuela, and they've now reduced it and choked the oil supply to China in Iran. And now what that does is presumably prevent China from having an absolute stronghold on the globe. So this is a strategic move geopolitically that we may not fully understand, but I absolutely trust that this is best for our nation, and we should be America first.
What makes you think that the regime has ended?
Let Sunny do what
that was the leader is the absolute Ayatollah is dead.
Well, but I'm old enough to remember. I get it. Enough to remember
Let's not do this
1989.
crosstalk.
Come on, I think we got another clip from this lady. Do we have one more? I want to play another clip. She is a rock star, and it's not because I agree with her. It's because when you listen to what they say, and you listen to her articulate what she's saying, which one makes sense? They're emotional. She giving facts, context, historicity. Roll the clip.
When you look at what women looked like and were treated like, we have a before and after, before this regime and after. This is before, and here's after. And right now, these women have hope. 47 million women have hope. Women, people who are gay are not being thrown off buildings. Women will not be mutilated and murdered. And I think there's such hope, and it takes strength to find peace, and America should be first at that always.
Well, here's the thing, though. I remember, and I hope you're right. I hope for the sake of the Iranian people and for the sake of the world, for America's sake, I hope you're right. But I remember 1989 when the Ayatollah Khomeini died, and we thought, this is over and this is going to be great, and a worse guy came up. Correct. I remember seeing George W. Bush on a U.S. aircraft carrier with a big banner behind.
All right, we done. That's all they doing. That's all they doing is fear mongering and warmongering. It's like we know that in the past there wasn't Donald Trump wasn't the president. Y'all's favorite people were the president. The Democrats were the president when things like that happened. Donald Trump has not started a war, not one bit. All right, let's get to. I want to get to the Smoothie King thing real quick. And then we can move on. What a dumb Negroid. I call these ignorant black folks Negroids. Not the smart ones, not the reasonable ones, which are far and few in between, to be quite honest. Like, when I'm around Jewish people, and I know people are going to get mad at me for saying this, like, they're not victims. Although they have been in certain circumstances where they could play the victim, the Holocaust, all of these things, discrimination, all of these things. But what are they doing with their life? They're not being victims like the rest of you nut jobs are. That's why they're winning and black people are losing. I'm telling you, black people are losing overall. There are individuals who are very successful. There's individuals who may have their stuff together, but overall, they are losing. They're losing. And this is an example of why they're losing. Look at this fool that previously had a job in an employment, and this is how you lose your job doing this. Roll the clip.
Yeah, like we don't support that. Our company's not about that. Like, we're not really comfortable with that. Okay, well, you can have a great day because we have the right to refuse service. So.
Okay, so you're discriminating, right?
So we're just. You're getting loud, sir. Like.
You just discriminated. So that's fine. We will leave.
Okay, thank you. Like. No, we're not serving Trump supporters. You have a great day.
What's your name?
You have a great day. I'm confused if this is a joke too. Like, we're questioning the same thing. Okay. Because you're Trump supporters? They're going on Facebook Lives because they're Trump supporters. Did Trump just not start a war yesterday?
You're refusing service at this establishment because of bullying, right? Which is discrimination.
Do you know that ICE is going on right now?
Which is discrimination, right?
Yeah, but you came in here with like.
Okay, well, you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. Like, thank you.
We were just wanting a hoodie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said you don't feel comfortable serving me because of my husband's hoodie.
Yes.
That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day. Like, you're still here. Like,
discriminates us. So
that's illegal. Okay.
I said Trump discriminates us.
Right.
What does it have to do with us wanting a smoothie?
Okay, but that's what you support. That's what you love, though. So go ahead, have a great day.
You don't know what it is. You don't know smoothie.
Okay, have a great day. Like, why are they still here? Why are they still here? Okay, that's fine. Like, you're just making us uncomfortable. I don't care. Like, have a great day. Get out. Go. Go. Get out. Like, he's like, go. Like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? That's embarrassing. You guys supporting Trump, that's embarrassing for you. That's embarrassing for you guys. It's not embarrassing because my manager was here, she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, okay? That's that.
You know that's a crime, right?
It's not though. We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we did. You asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable, right or wrong. You asked the question, she answered. Have a great day. Have a great day. The door is right there. Have a great day. Thank you. Have a great day. Call the police. Okay, what's the police gonna do? What? Oh my God. There's no way. Okay.
All right, there's another angle to this from the other perspective, but I want to add this. I am shocked at how stupid young people are. Like, we're screwed. We're kind of screwed because people that are in their 20s right now are the laziest, most complaining, like ill-equipped people that I've ever seen in my life. We've been to 3 Starbucks when we travel. I just want to go to Starbucks, get the little lattes. The dumbest, most unequipped human beings that I've ever seen in my life. They can't even have a conversation with you. They have no concept of customer service. They make your drinks wrong, and they're mad at you for making their drink wrong. For making your drink wrong. I asked the girl for the drink twice, and she made it wrong twice, and I just walked away. I just went to one now. I said, my wife want an espresso, tall cup, extra ice with sweet cream on the side. I swear to God, that's the easiest thing you could ever order. Espresso, extra ice in a tall cup, sweet cream on the side. The girl came and said, does she want extra cream in the drink? Ma'am, what part of espresso on ice, cream on the side, do you not understand? How are you going to make it in life and you cannot understand a simple request from a job that you work on with a menu that you run every day? And you got this girl in this Smoothie King, and I love Smoothie King. When I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, all I had was the Hulk with extra peanut butter in it. And ain't nobody care about Trump, politics. I don't care if you gay, you trans. I don't care if you got an STD. None of that got nothing to do with me. Make the Hulk with the vanilla ice cream and some peanut butter in it. What do y'all think? You're going to lose your job and be unemployed. Does that not matter to you? Come on, give me another angle. Really?
Right? Which is discrimination.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on.
Okay,
so
you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. Like, thank you.
we were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day.
That is illegal.
All right, so you guys see what happened. Let's see what Smoothie King had to say about it. All right, Smoothie King. Location in Michigan yesterday, the franchise owner has taken immediate action and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business. Both the franchise owner and Smoothie King Corporation have reached out to the guests several times to apologize and will continue to follow up, I guess the next line. It says the local owner is also taking further action and enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines our guest experience standards. And I don't know who owned this because it's a franchise. I would imagine that somebody woke on the this is my guess. Somebody woke on the franchise and they emboldened these young idiotic stew heads to do what they did. And then when they got busted, corporate came down and said, we're gonna take your whole license and you're gonna be out of a franchise. You're not gonna be a franchisee no more, and you're gonna be and you'll never own another one again, and all of your stores are closed down, we'll sue you. And they said, we gotta fire these people and we gotta make a training standards. That's what I think happened. Because there's no way in the world you get a person in there and you don't know how stupid they are. All right, real quick, I got 11 minutes left. I wanna just slap Megyn Kelly proverbially, verbally, for what she did when it comes to Iran. I cannot stand Megyn Kelly anymore. I remember taking a picture of her at a Turning Point event, and I really admired her. I didn't like her on Fox when she was on Fox, but she turned the corner, and I thought she was good. And she got on there with Charlie Kirk on that one podcast and was crying about Jew. And Charlie was crying too. And just, Charlie wasn't always right about everything either. I think people like, Charlie said the Jews, well, they don't make it right. Now, he had his opinion, she had her opinion, but Jewish people were saying, Megyn Kelly, and she's like, I can't believe they talking about me. Megyn, you just went full anti-Semitism, and you swear you weren't gonna do it. You swear that wasn't your approach. And what did you do? You went stupider than Marjorie Trader Green with her cheating self. Cheating on her, lost her family, allegedly. All right, put Megyn on there and see what she said. Well, hold on. Go to Megyn's clip. We got Megyn's full clip. I want to play that. This is what she said, which caused all the controversy, in my opinion. Roll it.
Look, there are massive divisions over what we've done here, and
no, it's not.
People are going to change their minds over the coming days and weeks, one way or the other. But my own feeling is no one should have to die for a foreign country. I don't think those 4 service members died for the United States. I think they died for Iran or for Israel. I think I understand how this helps Iran perfectly well. I get it. I mean, I hope.
What?
Long term, we'll see. But they seem rather jubilant. 80% of the country does not support the Ayatollah. He was a terrible, terrible man. No one's crying that he's dead. No normal person. But our government's job is not to look out for Iran or for Israel. It's to look out for us. And this feels very much, to me, like it is clearly Israel's war. Mark Levin wanted it. It's his war. Ben Shapiro, Lindsey Graham, Miriam Adelson. That's obvious.
There she go. Anti-Semite. That's what it is. When these people get crazy with Jews, they mind go. What make you think, this is crazy to me. What make you think that's a Miriam Adelson's war? She live in America. She makes all of her money, as far as I know, in America. And she spent her money and invested into Donald Trump, an American president. And people say that Trump is run by Miriam Adelson. Well, if Miriam Adelson is running Donald Trump, then Elon Musk is running Donald Trump because he gave way more money than she did. What are you talking about? Elon Musk had a job at the White House with Doge. If anybody got access because of money, it's Elon. But Trump told him to kick rocks when he didn't do what he's supposed to do. And then they ain't friends again. So that's how it is. But Megyn Kelly is a lying, it rots the brain. That's a Mark Levin war. When did Donald Trump go and meet with Mark Levin and say, you want to go to war? Ben Shapiro, you want to go to war? You want to use American assets to go to war? God is my witness, Donald Trump ain't talked to neither one of them. How do you make the conclusion that it's isolated as their war? When you have Marco Rubio on TV every single mother-freaking day explaining exactly why we engaged, explaining exactly what the methodology is. He explained all of it. But you still got your narrow behind out there and said this is a Jew thing. That's what she wanted to say. She wanted to say that they died for Israel, but she didn't want to go super woke, so she said Iran. So they died for Iran. Dumbest woman in the world. I want to play the Graham Allen, but we'll do that in post-production. Graham Allen had something really good to say about this, in my personal opinion, and there's also a view clip of this. We'll play that in post-production. But I'm sickening with these people. They go, Hodge twins, all of them. They go down a path of anti-Semitism for whatever reason, and it just rots the brain. The brain go into retard mode where they can't function, and everything is about Israel. Every war we fight, every war we don't fight, every decision Trump make or he doesn't make, it's all about Israel. Why is that? What are people thinking? It's crazy to me. Anyway, for the members, we got the post-show clarity. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're not a member, make sure you join the membership. Hit the join button. Join. We will have the greatest membership on YouTube. We're working on it right now. We're getting ready to roll out some of the different perks, giveaways, you name it, we got it. And it's coming to a membership option near you. So for everybody that wants to stick around post-show, I got more to say about what I'm talking about now. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about what went on in New York. We got a couple clips of the reason I was in New York for members only, all right? So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys watching, but we're going to get to that here in a second. But I want to give you a couple updates real quick before we get over to the members live stream, and that is you can go to Shenergy.com if you want energy, and if you want the night drink, which I take every time I go on, I travel. I try to take as much as I can at home, but I be forgetting it at the warehouse. So I got to remember to bring the stuff home, and I own the company. But does it work? Yes, it's really good. It works well. Give it a try. If it don't work for you, we'll give you 100% refund. We don't want your money if it ain't working for you. That's how confident we are that the day and night drink will work wonderfully for you, and it's good to have good quality sleep. That's why people are struggling, because they don't get good sleep and they're relying on energy drinks every single day during the daytime. And then you're in that deadly cycle. You need good, clean energy during the day for focus and clean, natural stuff, not none sugary drinks. And then at night you get a good sleep. You do that cycle, and now your life has changed, to be quite honest. But anyway, use the QR code. If you're watching this on television, you can pause the screen to get the QR code. Go to ShenergyLife.com, ShenergyLife.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're headed over to the members only. I'll see you guys over there.